You know what's the saddest comment I've read in weeks? Formula One, 1950 to 2026. Rest in peace. 167 people liked it. Nobody argued with it.
Here's the thing.
That wasn't some casual fan. That wasn't someone who just started watching after Drive to Survive. These are people who've given this sport 30, 35, 40 years of their lives. People who used to plan their entire weekend around race day. People who said F1 was their escape from everything wrong in the world, and now they're saying they can't even be bothered to watch the highlights. One guy wrote, "I used to have 3 monitors going with different feeds. All canceled, I'm done. 3 monitors. Gone." That is a divorce. And the ones doing this to them, they have names. The FIA, Liberty Media, FOM, the people who made decision after decision, year after year, and turned the greatest motorsport on Earth into a battery management simulation. Today we're going to talk about exactly how they did it, and why the fans, your people, our people, are absolutely done. If you're one of those people, you need to subscribe, because we're going to keep saying this until someone listens. This didn't happen overnight. That's what makes it so infuriating. In 2023, Max Verstappen stood in front of the media and told them exactly what was coming. He looked at the draft 2026 regulations and said,
Yeah, we have to seriously look at this because, the 26 is not that far away. And at the moment, to me, it looks very bad from all the numbers and what I see from the data already. So it's not something I'm very excited about at the moment.
Fans in the comments are saying it now. Max warned in 2023 about everything showing up right now in F1. Not because it's a Max fanboy moment, because it's true. And what did the FIA do? What did Liberty Media do? They nodded, they smiled, and they carried on. Because here's what you need to understand about how this sport is now run. It is not run for you. It is not run for the drivers. It is not even run for the racing. It is run for the manufacturers, for Audi, for Ford, for the boardrooms in Stuttgart and Detroit, and soon in China, who decided that electric vehicles are the future of their road cars, and who told Formula One, "If you want us, you build the regulations around us." And F1 said yes, without asking you, without asking the drivers, without apparently even asking a basic physics teacher. Because here's the thing that one fan wrote in the comments, and it perfectly sums up the stupidity of this. The recharge rate is less than the deployment rate. So until they manage to break the laws of thermodynamics and create energy from thin air, the F1 cars will be slower than F2 cars while recharging. That's it. That's the whole problem. Written by a fan, for free. And the FIA spent years and billions of dollars to arrive at the same conclusion after they'd already rolled it out on track. One fan asked the only question that matters. "I just want the name of the guy who thought this would be a good idea, and the names of those who allowed it." So do we, mate. So do we. If this video is connecting with you, share it. If this video is saying what you've been feeling, share it. Because the more people who see this, the harder it is for F1 to keep looking the other way. Leave your thoughts below. Now look, I know you already know what's wrong technically. You've seen the videos. You understand lift and coast, super clipping, the yo-yo effect. You're not new to this, so let's not get lost in the numbers. Let's talk about what was actually taken from you. Because this is what I keep reading in the comments, and it's breaking my heart a little. Usually I absorbed every F1 session like oxygen. Now I don't really care. 148 likes. I love this sport, and what it has become is so sad. I watch for 10 minutes and switch off. I would never have done that before. That's not boredom. That's grief. They are grieving the moment when F1 was about a human being, one person, pushing themselves and a machine to the absolute edge of what was physically possible. The moment you held your breath watching someone go through 130R flat. The moment you felt the danger through the screen. The moment you knew only the best on earth can do that. Fernando Alonso said it after Japan. He talked about corners like turn 12 in Bahrain, the S's at Suzuka, 130R. He said there were always certain corners in Formula One that challenged the limits of physics, and the driver had to use all the skills, had to be brave. That challenge is gone, not reduced, gone. And Alonso has been in this sport for over 2 decades. He has driven on every great track in the world. When he says the challenge is gone, you believe him. But here's the part that really stings. It's not just that those corners are now slow, it's why they're slow. They're slowing down to recharge a battery.
Wait.
Not because the car demands it, but because an algorithm decided this is the most efficient moment to harvest energy. And Leclerc, who qualified in Singapore in 2019 on what many call the greatest pole lap in history, said over team radio in Japan, "The better you drive, the more you get punished. The more human skill you apply, the more the system works against you. That's not racing. That's the opposite of racing." And you know what the commentators did? They told you it was exciting. They told you 120 overtakes meant great racing. They bent over backwards, as one fan put it, to make a battery deficit overtake the most exciting thing imaginable. 164 likes on that comment. Because every single one of us watching has felt that disconnect between what we're being told and what we're seeing. And this is where it tips from frustration into something darker. Because the racing being bad, okay, regulations sometimes miss, teams adapt. We've been through rough patches before. But after the Australian Grand Prix, when the comment sections exploded, when thousands of fans poured out their anger and their grief, F1's official social media account was celebrating 120 overtakes, and fans noticed that negative replies were being collapsed, hidden, like they didn't exist. And once that happens, once fans believe the sport is not just getting it wrong, but is actively trying to hide the fact that it's getting it wrong, that is when loyalty breaks, permanently. One fan wrote, "It's not a sport, it's a show that is a vehicle for marketing." And honestly, look at the decisions. Liberty Media took F1 from a racing organization and turned it into a content platform. Drive to Survive, Netflix, Apple TV, street circuits in Las Vegas and Miami designed for billboard placement, not racing lines. Regulations designed to satisfy Audi and Ford, not to produce the best racing. And now, a fan from America who is already paying for F1 TV has to pay for Apple TV on top of that to watch some races. And he's sitting there watching cars coast through fast corners, watching overtakes powered by boost buttons, watching Max Verstappen, the greatest driver of his generation, finish 9th. And he's asking himself, what exactly am I paying for? One fan said, since the Americans took over, it is about money, and that's all. Well done, Liberty Media. You have ruined a once fantastic sport. He said he's been watching since 1959. So here's where we land. On April 9th, the FIA is sitting down with the teams and the engine manufacturers to discuss fixes. 6 possible changes are on the table. And yes, some of them could help in the short term. They could reduce the worst of the lift and coast. They could make qualifying feel slightly more like a flat-out lap again. But let's be honest with each other, and they can't patch that. Not really. And the FIA knows it, because some of the fixes being considered, like increasing combustion engine power, can't happen until 2027 at the earliest. The engines weren't built for it. Now here's something that one fan in the comments said, "We longtime fans can't give up. We have to keep voicing our discontent." And he's right. And the question isn't whether F1 will fix the technical regulations. They probably will, eventually. The question is whether they'll fix the relationship with the people who built this sport. The people who were here before Drive to Survive made it cool. The people who watched in the rain at Spa, who set their alarms for Japanese time zones, who raised their kids on race day Sundays. Those people are not complaining right now. They're leaving. So the message is simple. Fix the racing, yes. But first, listen. Fans are telling you exactly what F1 needs to be. The only question is whether anyone in a position of power is willing to hear it. Drop a comment. Are you still watching? Or are you done? Let's hear it. And if this video said what you've been feeling, share it. Because the more people who see this, the harder it is for F1 to keep looking the other way. Subscribe. We'll see you next week.